Welcome to Truth Uncovered. Today's video is not just another surface-level guide on attraction. It's a psychological breakdown, a reframe, a deep dive into the subtle energies, stoic power, and internal strength it takes to become the man who doesn't chase because he is already unforgettable. We're about to uncover how to make her think about you constantly, not through manipulation. Not through flashy tactics or cliché pickup lines, but through transformation. By the end of this video, you'll know how to create an emotional signature in her mind. One that lingers, echoes, and haunts in the best way. You'll become the man who doesn't need attention, because his presence alone demands it. Let's begin point 1. Be the calm she can't find anywhere else in a world drowning in noise. He who radiates peace becomes unforgettable. Most women live in a whirlwind, swiping through notifications, juggling work stress, battling emotional fatigue, and trying to navigate a society that constantly demands more. And here's the truth. Most men overlook. Women aren't starving for excitement. They're starving for relief. When you become the man who doesn't add to the noise, who doesn't amplify the chaos, who, instead, becomes the space where she can finally exhale. You become medicine. You become rare. This is the beginning of stoic attraction. The man who does not flinch, who does not overreact, does not chase drama, becomes her anchor. She won't say it directly, but she will feel it deeply. Her nervous system begins to associate your presence with stillness. Her guard drops. Her walls soften. 'Cause in your energy, she feels safe. Not coddled, not controlled, but safe in a way the world rarely offers. This is the stoic superpower.com is magnetic. You're not the loudest in the room. You're the most grounded. You're not flooding her phone. You're lingering in her nervous system. That calm is addictive. Think of Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor commanding legions, bearing the weight of empires. Yet in his private journal, he wrote like a monk, measured, reflective, still. That duality, outward strength and inward serenity, is what made him immortal. You must become that man in your own world, not flashy, not theatrical, just unshakably grounded, because in a sea of men trying to be noticed, the man who gives her peace becomes unforgettable. 2. Master the power of mystery and restraint. We live in an oversharing era. Everyone is broadcasting their every thought, feeling, and move. Privacy is now exotic. Mystery is rare. Most men try to impress by laying everything on the table: their achievements, their past, their pain, their feelings. And while vulnerability has its place, overexposure kills curiosity. Attraction needs curiosity. And curiosity needs restraint. Mystery isn't about pretending. It's about choosing what to reveal and when. You don't need to hide. You just need to stop explaining everything. Let her discover you like a good book, chapter by chapter, page by page. A mysterious man doesn't speak less. He speaks with intention. He doesn't fill every silence with words. He lets silence work for him. He understands that presence is not about constant visibility. It's about emotional weight. She should be wondering, what's he thinking? Why is he so centered? What's his story? This magnetic tension, when maintained authentically, keeps you in her mind when you're no longer in her presence, when she doesn't have all the answers. Her imagination fills the gaps. That's how obsession begins, not with certainty, but with wonder. So stop over-explaining. Stop trying to be understood so quickly. Let her feel the mystery. Let her come closer to uncover more, if she's earned it. 3. Live a life that doesn't need her but inspires her. Let's get something clear. You don't attract her by making her your purpose. You attract her by already having one. If you're evolving your entire identity around a woman's attention, she will subconsciously view you as replaceable. Not because she's cruel, but because you're signaling that your life is empty without her. That's pressure. It's unattractive. You want her to think about you when you're not around? Start by living in a way that's hard to ignore. Read, build, create, train, explore. Have a mission that gets you out of bed that has nothing to do with her. This is stoic attraction in its rawest form, a life governed by purpose, not validation. You don't wait for her reply to feel complete. You don't obsess over likes or messages. You're busy. You're building. You're becoming. That doesn't mean you ignore her. It means you're not dependent on her. And that independence, that sense of internal fullness is what draws. Her in your absence becomes valuable when your presence is meaningful. And here's the paradox. The more you focus on your mission, the more she thinks about you. Because you're no longer trying to get her attention. You're living in a way that deserves it. Point 4. Give emotional highs, then create space. Attraction breathes in contrast. If you're always there, it's always available, always on call, there's no room for tension, no space for imagination. Familiarity, when overdone, becomes dull. Here's the secret. Emotional impact isn't just about intensity. It's about rhythm. You must create moments of laughter, depth, connection. When you're with her, be fully there. Look into her. Make her feel seen, not just looked at. Make her feel heard, not just replied to. Then, pull back. Let the memory of that moment echo in her mind. Let her wonder, why hasn't he texted? He thinking of me? What is he doing now? These questions don't arise from games. They arise from contrast, from giving fully, then stepping back with intention. You give emotional highs like a fire, then let the warmth linger in your absence. The greatest composers use silence between notes. You must use distance between connections. Let her sit with the afterglow of your presence, because when every man is over-available, your silence becomes a signal, a message, a whisper that says, I'm not chasing, I'm building. You're welcome to join, but I won't wait. 5. Stay centered when she tests. Every woman will test your emotional core. It's not manipulation, it's instinctual. She wants to feel you. She wants to know if you're grounded or if you'll collapse under pressure. Tests come in many forms: subtle, sarcasm mood, shifts delayed, replies emotional. Withdrawals, most men crumble. They get reactive, defensive, needy. They try to fix the moment. They try to win her approval back. But you stay centered, you breathe. You observe. You don't chase comfort. You project.com. Because here's the psychological truth. When she tests you, she's not looking for perfection. She's looking for authenticity, consistency, strength. She wants to know that the man she's drawn to isn't a performance, but a reality. When she pulls away, you don't beg. When she flirts with drama, you don't escalate. You lean into silence. You respond with clarity. You ask calm, grounding questions like, what makes you feel that way? And in that moment, when you don't flinch, she feels something deeper than attraction. She feels trust. 6. Lead with principles. Not performance. Attraction fades when you're constantly trying to please. Too many men are mirrors reflecting back what they think she wants. They become adaptable, agreeable, easy. And while that may work short term, it destroys long-term respect. The stoic man is not a mirror. It's a lighthouse. He doesn't shift based on opinions. He leads with values. He's not asking, does she like me? He's asking, did I live with integrity today? That kind of man becomes attractive without trying, because values create presence. And presence creates respect. You don't need to be perfect, but you do need to be rooted. Know your boundaries. Speak your truth. Don't tolerate disrespect, no matter how beautiful she is. When a woman sees that you won't fold, she leans in closer, because men like that are rare. 7. Control your attention like it's currency in today's world. Your attention is more valuable than money. Every notification, ad, and influencer wants a piece of it. And the more you give it away carelessly, especially to a woman you're interested in, the less powerful it becomes. Attention is power. And power is respect. Don't waste it on double texts, over likes, or needy messages. Give your attention like a man who values his time, who knows that whoever receives His focus is receiving something earned, not something begged for. Let her feel your absence. Let her earn your energy, because when a woman realizes your attention is a privilege, not a given, she'll crave it even more. 8. Be the man who can walk away peacefully. This is the final and perhaps most powerful principle of all. You must become the man who is willing to walk away without noise, without pain, without fear, a man who connects deeply, loves fully, gives generously, and still knows when to say, "This no longer serves me." Not because he's cold, but because he's clear. The stoic man is never desperate, because he knows his worth is internal. His peace is non-negotiable. His mission continues with or without her. When she sees you're capable of walking away with dignity, it triggers something primal: regret, respect, reverence. She replay your silence. She'll miss your steadiness. She'll remember your peace. Because a man who doesn't need to stay is often the man she hopes comes back. Final words. Become her memory. You want her to think about you constantly. Don't chase. Don't perform. Don't over-explain. Become unforgettable. Be the calm she never expected. Be the mystery she can't solve. Be the man who leads with principle, not performance. Be the experience that leaves her better, not bitter. Be the presence that lingers, even in silence. That is stoicism. That is power. That is how you become the man who lives in her thoughts long after the moment has passed. This is Truth Uncovered.